Boris Johnson has been urged to soften his negotiating tactics with the EU as trade talks entered a crucial phase, with a fishing boss warning that shellfish exporters are terrified of the prospect of being pushed under by the effects of a no-deal Brexit. Lord Frost and Michel Barnier's respective teams will continue talks in Brussels on Sunday in a bid to close the huge gaps on fisheries and the so-called level playing field, the main obstacles to a deal. A UK government source said the bloc would need to make a substantial shift for a deal to be agreed, adding, "We cannot accept a deal that doesn't leave us in control of our own laws or waters." Gerry Percy, chief executive of New Under-10 Fishermen's Association (NUTFA), said many members who export their live catch to the continent would suffer heavily in the event of a no-deal outcome. The group represents small-scale fishermen, specifically those who operate vessels under 10 meters, across the length and breadth of the UK. Mr. Percy said nearly 11 months after the UK left the EU it is high time the Prime Minister realised something's got to give in trade talks. He urged Mr. Johnson to strike a deal with Brussels which would ensure continued access to the European market for fish exporters, which he admitted would require a level of compromise on fishing rights in UK seas. The fishing boss told Express, "The concern we have is that thousands of small boats are reliant on those EU markets for live shellfish. If we play hardball right to the end and yes, we might be able to kick all the European boats out, but we then lose our markets for thousands of boats big and small that rely on getting our live catch over to Europe. There's got to be some sort of negotiation here that seeks to find a common cause between everybody. We need to rebalance our access to our own resources quite significantly, and if we get more, that means Europeans get less. I think there needs to be a level of compromise here." Trade talks are this weekend approaching another deadline. MEPs have said they need to see the terms of any agreement by Sunday evening if they are going to be able to ratify it before the end of the Brexit transition period on December 31. However, it is thought EU leaders could provisionally sign off on a deal if the talks go on beyond that point, with formal ratification taking place in the new year. NUTFA is calling on Lord Frost, the UK's chief negotiator, to secure an agreement which would ban EU fishermen from operating within 12 nautical miles off the UK's coast. This rule, Mr. Percy insisted, is essential to guaranteeing the survival of small-scale skippers.